When you're living van life out on the road, you might actually need to consider cooking for yourself. I mean, fast food's good and all, maybe, but it's not something you want to eat every day. Some people eat out all the time, even when they're not living van life, and there's some people in van life that eat out all the time anyway. I'm not one of those people. I like cooking my own food. I like making sure my ingredients are fresh. I like making sure I'm not eating processed garbage and basic poison. So I like making everything I can inside the van. Now, it didn't always happen this way. There was a time when I first moved in that I was eating a whole lot more processed foods, and I really did not like it as much. I didn't feel as well because I'd never really eaten a lot of processed foods. And so at some point in time, a few months back, I said, you know what? I got to stop buying processed stuff. I got to stop buying granola bars and Pop-Tarts. And I'm going to go back and figure out how to make my own fresh food as I did when I did not live in van life. Well, today I'm going to share with you one of my great recipes for homemade French fries from raw potatoes. This one's a good one, folks. My recipe for French fries is quite simple. We're going to use potatoes and some oil to cook it in. Now, you never want to use vegetable oil. That's one of the great American lies. How great vegetable oil's from you. It comes from vegetables after it's been through a chemical processing plant. The fact of the matter is vegetable oils are high in omega-6 fatty acids. They're not good for you. Olive oil is great for you, but you don't want to cook with it because it transifies. Butter is good, but it burns when you use it at high temperatures. There's a few oils that are really good. My preferred one is coconut oil. Yeah, it can leave things tasting a little coconutty at times, but the reality is, for the most part, you don't ever really notice it. I'm going to cut my potatoes into simple French fries, add some coconut oil, and then simply turn on the heat and cook. Let's go ahead and add whatever spices you like. That's kind of incidental. For my fries, personally, I use a seasoned salt like Lowry's. I'm going to use some pepper. In this case, I'm using white pepper, although black pepper works just as fine. And I might even put on oregano and basil as well if I want a little bit more Italian-y type fries. But the reality is I don't usually do that. Once you add your fries into your pan, you're going to cook them for usually up to around 10 or so minutes. Now, this is one of the recipes I like to do outside when I can because it can splash a lot of grease and I don't want to deal with splashed grease. If I am making it inside, I use a deep pot instead of the shallower pan, and that way there's not a lot of splashes that gets out. And then once we are done, we're just going to go ahead and stir them around and flip them every once in a while, just to make sure they are good and golden on every side that we are at. So I was putting the fries on the paper towel just so they don't melt the plate with too much heat. We'll just absorb a little bit of heat at the bottom. Because if I put them directly up from the hot grease onto the plate, I imagine I might melt the plate a little bit. And I don't want to do that. I do use plastic plates, so A, there's no clanging around, and B, I don't have things breaking on me along the way. Now take my chicken. Oh, so looks like two pieces. It might be two pieces that were frozen together. This was frozen chicken as I got it, as I bought it from the store, but we'll see. I don't know. It's not really coming apart, so well, it might be this. Well, we have a massive chicken for dinner. Yeah, I didn't mention earlier, I'm having my French fries with some chicken. We're going to top this off with some barbecue sauce. I'm not a huge fan of ketchup, but I do love barbecue sauce, and I make chicken wraps or maybe just chicken with some barbecue sauce on it. Anyway, this is a nice, quick, easy meal. Now, about my frozen chicken here, I tend to not buy chicken frozen anymore because it comes in these massive, each one of these is enough portions for 3 or 4 people, and it's too difficult to get them apart. So this was my one experiment in getting frozen chicken, and it took me about, I don't know, 2 weeks to finish it all off. But now I just buy the individual fresh ones, and then I wrap those in my food saver, which I did a separate video on. That way, I have my chicken as good and preserved for quite a long time in addition. Problem with a piece of chicken this big, it is going to take a long time to cook. Another reason why I don't like them that big. So there we have it. French fries, barbecue chicken, a wonderful home-cooked meal. Didn't take too long, and this is better than anything I'm going to get at some restaurant somewhere. The reality is, guys, stop and think about how you can think outside the box, how you can cook in your van life. You might experiment with some things. I know for me personally, I'm experimenting with some different types and ways of doing recipes and things like that, just so I can just give it a try. And you don't want to rely on eating out. It's not healthy, and you tend to lose a lot more money doing that. But the reality is you can cook some really good things inside. You might try solar ovens. You might try crock pots. You might try the food ninjas, or become popular in van life. There's a lot of options that we have that we can experiment with. And what I want to leave you with is just give it a try. Give it the best you can do to experiment with some excellent foods. Well, we're going to leave this nice short video here for now, and I'm going to go and enjoy my chicken and French fries. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you've not already done so, and we will see you a little bit further down the road.